Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the Triassic period. It's basically the start of the dinosaurs. I am a dinosaur lover, but no expert in the slightest on them. This is just what I learned today about the start of the dinosaurs. I am Dutch, so sorry if I pronounce some words wrong. I just love talking English, so I'm making this in English. The Mesozoic is the time that dinosaurs lived. It's the name for the entire time that dinosaurs lived. It goes from the Triassic period, Jurassic period, and Cretaceous period. But today let's focus on the Triassic period. It lasted from 252 to 201 million years ago, which is a long time ago. The German geologist Friedrich August von Alberti, who first marked the Triassic period out. He named it the Trias. In 1834, he found out that there was a period of less fossils, which means that there was an extinction event, which sets out the boundary from 252 million years ago to 201 million years ago, where there was a whole different period of time, where the dinosaurs started evolving. They don't really know for sure how it happened. Maybe climate change or meteor, volcanos, just the basic extinction stuff. We don't know for sure, but we do know that before the Triassic period was the Permian. The Permian period. That's when the synapsids lived, which would rather evolve into mammals. One synapsid was a large silk-backed animal called dimetrodon, which looked like a dinosaur, but it actually wasn't. Then, 252 million years ago, came the Permian-Triassic extinction event, where 70% of all living species died on land, and 95% of creatures in the oceans. The biggest extinction event ever to happen on Earth. And it was the end of the Paleozoic era. Out of the ashes of this extinction, several new groups of reptiles began to evolve in the Triassic, the dinosaurs. One was called the pseudocians, which is the lineage to which present-day crocodiles and alligators belong. They are a small bunch today, about 25 species in total, but back in the Triassic, there were a lot of them, including armored ones that ate plants, toothless omnivores that sprinted on their hind legs, and apex predators called rauisuchians that were 9 meters from nose to tail and had insane teeth like steak knives. Along with those, there were smaller creatures that were mostly smaller than a cow, like the Tanystropheus with a fancy neck, or the Coelophysis, who was who looked like a teeny T-Rex, and there were a lot of them in that time. And the land during this time was basically a giant sea called Pangaea, the big ocean called Panthalassa, and the expanse of water nestled in its curve is called the Tethys Sea. It was mostly desert, so dinosaurs mostly stayed near the edge, near the sea, while the pseudocians were better able to endure the inner regions. There was no south or north pole, so it was very hot and dry. The ocean steamed with the coiled-shelled ammonites, mollusks and sea urchins that survived the Permian extinction and were quickly changing. The first corals appeared, though other reef-building organisms were already there from the last period. Giant reptiles, such as the dolphin-shaped ichthyosaurs and the long-necked and paddle-finned plesiosaurs, ate fish and ancient squid. The bottom of the food chain was filled with microscopic teeny tiny plants called phytoplankton, two of the major groups still in the oceans today. And plankton is the one who gives us the most clean air. They do basically the same thing as, well, what trees do for us, so let's appreciate planktons for a little bit. You did it? You appreciated them? Good. Now, there were also frogs, salamanders, crocodiles, turtles, and snakes that slithered on and off the Triassic coast, lakes, and rivers. Pterosaurs, a group of flying reptiles, also took to the air. Pterosaurs are beautiful. They were the beginning of the birds we know today, and they most likely had feathers too. And on firm ground, moss, liverworts, and ferns carpeted forests of conifers, ginkgos, and palm-like cycads. Spiders, scorpions, millipedes, and centipedes thrived, and grasshoppers appeared. One of the earliest true mammals was the 3-foot-long, or 1 meter long, Eosostrodon. The mouse-like creature laid eggs, but fed its young mother's milk. Among the first dinosaurs, there was the 2-footed carnivore Goelophysis, which grew up to 9 feet or 2.7 meters tall. Weighed up to 100 pounds or 45 kilograms, and probably fed on small reptiles and amphibians, which means frogs, toads, salamanders, etc., etc. It showed up about 225 million years ago. A million years later came the 27.5 foot long, or 8 meters long, herbivore called the Plateosaurus, which is also pretty cool. The Eoraptor. This dinosaur was likely an omnivore and lived about 230 million years ago. This dinosaur was only 91 centimeter or 3 feet long and 11 kilograms or 25 pounds. It was pretty tiny, and its name means dawn, plunderer, or destroyer, because it is an early dinosaur, the dawn of the dinosaurs, and plunderer, destroyer, because some scientists believe its claws tore apart or destroyed its prey. There is some debate about the classification of Eoraptor. Some scientists suggest it was an early theropod, which is a group primarily meat-eating bipedal dinosaurs that would later include fierce predators like the T-Rex, whereas others suggest it belongs to a group of Sauropodomorphia, which were long-necked herbivore dinosaurs. It is possible Eoraptor was the last common ancestor before the dinosaurs split into theropods and sauropods. So maybe this is why scientists have struggled to classify the dawn, plunderer, destroyer. While this dinosaur had teeth that indicated it ate meat, it also had plant-eating teeth, suggesting it was an omnivore. So they could eat both like us. It had 5 fingers on each hand, but 2 may have done nothing as they were stubby and clawless. Maybe they had scales, maybe they had feathers. We don't know for sure, but my bet is on the feathers because, well, the other raptors we know have feathers. Although the Eoraptor was given the name raptor, but it has no relations to the velociraptor or any Dromaeosauridae. But I don't know, it looks like it should have feathers, but I don't know, I'm not an expert. I just really think dinosaurs look better with feathers. So that's how I'm going to predict it looked like. The Herrerasaurus was there too, with a big mouth. It means Herrera's lizard after the rancher who discovered the first specimen in 1958 in South America. The Drepanosaurs, who looked like adorable chameleons, but with bird heads. So maybe they were like birds with feathers. Well, in 2017 in New Mexico, a avicranium skull was found and more became clear of the Drepanosaurs and other reptiles. They were not birds, they were reptiles, so they had skills, most likely. The Lystrosaurus and Thrinaxodon were both there too. They are less known as the other dinosaurs, but they're still there, and they can be pretty cute. And there are many other dinosaurs and animals, but I can't list them all. It's literally millions and millions and millions of years. There are a lot of animals lived and died in that period. But about 200 million years ago, during a period known as the Triassic-Jurassic boundary, Pangaea started to crack. North America separated from Europe, South America from Africa. As they parted, Earth exploded with lava from volcanoes in what is now the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Released with the lava were huge volumes of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide. These gases continually warmed the atmosphere, while bursts of ash from the eruptions shut out the sun's light. As you might expect, this change in global climate killed a huge number of species and decimated the pseudo-Suchian populations. Dinosaurs somehow seem to have emerged from this time relatively unscathed and gone on to prosper in the gaps left by ancient rocks. Exactly how they managed still remains unclear, but although recent evidence points to their unusual lungs as a clinging factor that might have caused them to survive. So that was the end of the Triassic period, a period full of change and evolution. The start of the dinosaurs and so many other species that set the path to so many species that's still alive today. It's crazy to think that it was so long ago, and we are just a mere speck on the time span of the Earth. The story of the Earth and the dinosaurs are so fascinating, and we only learn more about it the more we dig deeper into our past. We have to treasure this planet and remember all its history that it went through. The Earth will live on way longer than we humans ever will, and that's just beautiful. And in like millions of years, a new species will probably dig down and find our past and discover our past. And they will probably find more than just bones. With the dinosaurs, we can only, count on the bones and some of the prints they left in the stone. It's pretty beautiful. I love it. I really like dinosaurs, and this period of time is just so fascinating and tremendous. So, yes, this was my video on the Triassic period. I hope you liked it. Here are the sources that I used. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.